Hello everyone, welcome back to Cloud Exam Ready. So let's see a practice question for AWS Certified Solution Architect Associate, which is SAC03. So we will explain the question in detail. So please watch the video till the end for the detailed explanation. So let's see the question. So the question is, a company runs a highly available image processing application on Amazon EC2 instance in a single VPC. The EC2 instances run inside several subnets across multiple availability zones. The EC2 instances do not communicate with each other. However, the EC2 instance download images from the Amazon S3 and upload images to Amazon S3 through a single NAT gateway. The company is concerned about the data transfer charges. What is the most cost-effective way for the company to avoid regional data transfer charges? So we have options. Option A, launch NAT gateway in each availability zone. Option B, replace the NAT gateway with a NAT instance. Option C, deploy a gateway VPC endpoint for Amazon S3. And option D, provision an EC2 dedicated host to run the EC2 instances. So first, let's understand the question. Okay, so let's understand the problem. So first, like EC2 instances are in private subnets. So as per the question, so our EC2 instances are in private subnets and they download and upload images to S3. So right now, how the traffic goes is from EC2 to NAT gateway, which is in public subnet, and from there it will go to internet and then it will go to Amazon S3. So this path occurs two big charges. So first one is NAT gateway data processing fees, which the fees is per GB processed, and second is regional data transfer out to the internet, and it is also per GB. Since the instances don't communicate to each other, the only cross availability zone traffic is via the single NAT gateway. But the key is all the S3 traffic is leaving the VPC and going over the public internet. So even though S3 is a regional AWS service. So let's see the options and let's explain like if which option is correct. So we have option A, launch a NAT gateway in each availability zone. So that would remove cross AZ data transfer for NAT traffic, but you would still pay for each NAT gateway, which will be cost hourly plus per GB processing. So this one is the worst case because traffic to S3 would still go over the internet. This actually increases the cost, not reduce it. So this one is the not correct answer. Next, option B, replace NAT gateway with a NAT instance. So a self-managed NAT instance is cheaper per hour, but you still pay for data transfer out to the internet. Plus, you lose high availability and managed scalability. So you might save a little, but the regional data charges to S3 remains. So this is not the best one from all the options. So let's see next. Option number D, provision an EC2 dedicated host. That's for licensing and compliance needs. It does absolutely nothing to reduce data transfer cost between EC2 and S3. So this option is irrelevant. So only one option is left. So the correct answer is option C, deploy a gateway VPC endpoint for Amazon S3. So this is the correct option. So a gateway endpoint creates a private route from your VPC directly to S3 without leaving the AWS network. So which is safe. So we do not need to go to the internet now. So traffic stays within the region, goes over AWS internal backbone, and there is no data transfer charges for S3 access via a gateway endpoint. So our S3 access charges will be 0, but we need to pay for the endpoint, gateway endpoint itself, which is very low. It's like 0.01 per hour per availability zone. But you eliminate per GB NAT processing fees and the regional internet egress fees. That's huge when you move lots of images. So as per the AWS, like in fact, AWS recommends using S3 VPC endpoints specifically to avoid NAT gateway charges for S3 traffic. Once you add the endpoint, you just put route table, private subnets point to the endpoint for S3 prefixes, and you can even keep the NAT gateway for other internet traffic. So no downtime, instant savings. So let's see the question. So this one was our question where we company runs highly available image processing application on Amazon EC2 instance in a single VPC. EC2 instance run on several subnets across multiple availability zone. They do not communicate with each other, but EC2 instance download images from S3 and upload images to S3 through single NAT gateway. The company is concerned about the data transfer cost charges. What is the most cost effective way for the company to avoid regional data transfer charges? So here we have seen our correct option is option number C, which is deploy a gateway VPC endpoint for Amazon S3. So this one is the question we have explained in this video, and in the last video the question I have explained, I'm just displaying it, so you can just read out this, or if you want to see the explanation, I will put the link in the top. You can just click and check the video. Thank you so much for watching. That's all for the video.